Hello, Testament here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to use the Sculpt tool version 2.0, the basic usages covering all different aspects of the Sculpt tool so that you can get started on quickly creating your adventure maps with ease without having to worry about different sculpting, different programs like Magnetic or whatever. You can do it all in game. It's very wonderful, and you can sculpt pretty much like ZBrush or whatnot. So let's get started. You have to, this version puts all of your sculpting capabilities into one item. This time it is the default is the golden pickaxe, and notice that we have an icon. This icon represents where we're going to paint in the world freely. Notice that this icon then also floats if I set my brush distance to low. Yeah, there you go. So it is also based on brush distance. To get through the menus, hold tab to switch between the different modes. You got your type, mode, size, offset, opacity, and distance. Distance I already just showed you. Press Z and X to go left and right between different settings and submenus, and press V to go up, press C to go down. So you can go up and down, and you can hold Control while pressing C or V respectively to go faster, so that you can get to your settings really quickly. You get to your nice variables really quickly. It beats the old changing the variables in the inventory system, which was very archaic in the previous version. So let's paint. We're going to set square X and Z to 4 and 4. And anything on your offhand is what you paint with. So we're going to paint with a stone. And our paint button is Shift. So let's press it. We now have a square. You can hold Shift to paint freely. Much better, very fluid, very artistic. You can do quite a lot with it, and it updates pretty quickly. I must say, actually, I'm pretty happy and surprised with the results, actually. So yeah. Anyways, brush type. We have our square. We have our cylinder with a radius, and there's their cylinder. And then we have our sphere, radius. Watch it update. There you go. That is a sphere. So you can get quite massive results. These brush sizes can go really big. Now go back to square. I'm going to show you a nice feature called tapering. Cylinder has this too, but I'm just going to show you on the square. So I've got a 12 by 12 and by 20. Now taper. We can taper on the positive direction and let us paint. And we can taper on the negative direction and let us paint, which is really cool. We also can change direction on the X and the Z as well. So for direction, 1 is Y, Z is 2, and X is 3, or X is 0. So you can see the capabilities of taper. Cylinder has this as well. It's pretty awesome. So you're able to craft different kinds of shapes with ease. So let us go to cylinder, and I'm going to show you the beauty of offset. So let's switch to our dirt. Notice that we're painting right now with dirt. Oh, actually, that's not what I wanted to show you. Let's set our brush distance really high. Notice that we're painting on the dirt and nothing is happening. Nothing whatsoever. But if I set my brush offset to Y is +1, I can stack, sort of. So don't let opacity, don't let offset fool you. It is more useful than it seems. So yeah, so I can stack, hold it down, and you can get some crazy things with it. Now, what if I wanted to paint on flat surfaces? What if I wanted to keep the height and not have any of that affect me? Don't worry about the screen. I have flux redding. It turns yellow. Sorry about that. So anyways, hold down Control and notice that my Y does not change no matter where I look at if I hold down Control while painting. It is very useful to create, you know, flat terrain or carve through uneven terrain. Very, very, very useful. You can do a lot with it. Its capabilities are endless. Very invaluable tool to hold down Control. Alright, now that we have covered that, let's go through the different modes. I want to show you through a glass. And then we're going to set our brush to a sphere. And we're going to set our brush size lower. So, notice that we have brush mode. Paint normal. It will paint no matter where it is. Glass, air or ground. It will paint there. Ignore air will ignore air. And only air will paint only on air. As you can see through the three differences of glass, which is pretty awesome. Now we have only on selected blocks. Press R to select your selective block ID. And let's say the stone right here. And I'm going to paint my glass. And notice that it only painted on the stone. Nowhere else. That is what only on selected blocks does. Now shift mode is pretty interesting. Let us switch to our sapling. And let's switch to a square brush. Square brush, brush size, Y is low. And then taper is 0. And direction is 1. For good measure. Okay, now and offset is going to be 0. There we go. So now that we have our plant, let's paint like right here. Notice how the saplings actually conform to the ground. I painted inside the ground, but the saplings push themselves up, so they have to paint in the air. So they lay on top of the ground that you're painting inside. So that's what shift mode does. Now we go down to opacity. And let us paint at 1%. Now we have control over the random probability of where these saplings grow. So you have that much freedom of control with just the opacity, just the noise itself. So much control. Now that we've shown you that, that's pretty much everything. One last thing is we can go down to a sphere, and not only can we paint, we can carve and create caves, like so. There we go. So we can carve in, make caves, no problem. It's very, very useful. You have endless possibilities with the Sculpt tool. In the next video, I will show you different examples of what the Sculpt tool can create. So I hope you've learned how to use the Sculpt tool in this video, and hope you can get started creating wonderful landscapes and sceneries for your AdventureCraft maps. And I will see you in the next video. Alright? Comment, rate, subscribe, whatever. I will thank you dearly for that. Take care and enjoy.